Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing this evening? So glad to see everybody here tonight. Today we are going to, of course, talk about my last show, but welcome to My Two Cents. This is a show where we talk about the last show on Autumn is Here podcast, and we're going to talk about the subject matter that we had on that show. So please, if you haven't seen the show, it's okay. My two cents is to give you extra stuff just to make sure we pinpoint some points. We don't want you to miss certain things. We want you to think about stuff and make sure that, maybe it's something that works for you. We don't want you to overlook anything. So that's why we give you my two cents on Thursday evening. So I'm so glad to see all of you here tonight. I'm hoping that some of you have saw the show. If you haven't seen the show, it's okay. On Autumn is Here, it's okay. You can look at it at any time, but you can also listen in and talk about the subject matter. The subject matter today, we speak to Sherry Ross, and she is a senior living specialist. And a senior living specialist is someone that talks to seniors, talks to family, knows all about them, knows the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the bad and the good, and try to help them to get the proper place or have the proper information so they can select the proper place for senior living. Many people may not be able to stay in their homes. Many people may have to find some other place to live. So she is a specialist that caters to your needs, not in general thing, but a specialist that caters to your needs. She asks all the questions that from her experience that people need to know, and for her to get the information, and she gets the information and she puts that together, and she guides you in a way and tells you the options that you may have. So it's always good to have a specialist because you never know. It's overwhelming being a caregiver, but when you get to a point where you can't do it anymore and you have to make that decision, she gives you options. She gives you options about how the different decisions that you can make. It could be we always think that, okay, it's a nursing home, but it may not be a nursing home. Your parent may not need a nursing home. They may just need some place for loved ones to guide them, or some people to be there, or somebody to read for them, or make sure they take their medicine and stuff like that. Or maybe they just can't live alone, so maybe it's not, the next step is not a nursing home, even though that is a facility, but you might want to do assisted living. And if you do assisted living or a senior, they have senior buildings and stuff like that. But if you do any of those, you need to understand what to look for. You need to understand that every one of them is different. So Sherry, she gives you an idea of what's out there, what's possible, what's available, what's better fit for your loved one. So that's what she talks about on Autumn is Here. So we want to bring those points to life, and just to make sure that you understand that, there's choices, but it's a lot and it can be overwhelming. So it's good to know some of these things and to know that there's specialists out there. There are people out there that are helping you. Hi, Raven. Glad to see you here tonight. It's good to have the support and resources. Yes, it is good to have the support and resources because, like I said, it's overwhelming. Looking for a place. It's just like if you're looking for your own apartment or your home or something like that. You're looking for a place for someone else. And there's so many things that you have to think about that you don't even think about, and what if your person is, doesn't give that much input or something like that, then you have to figure it out yourself, what's best for them, whether it's location, whether it's the decor to make them feel comfortable, whether it's the activities that they have, whether it's the food, whether it's that they have a lot of people there, or, for them to interact with. I mean, you have to look at all these different things. So it's good to have a specialist like Sherry Ross who will guide you and say, well, what is it that your loved one needs? Do they need facilities to have equipment, and things like that, or easy access to stuff, and she tells you what to look for when you go to these places. So even if you go to these places, what do you look for? So she actually wrote a book on it, and it's Senior Living Made Simple, SIMPLE, and she has a workbook on it where she actually you can go through the guide and you can get help that way. So that's another way for you to get help and stuff like that. So it's really good. And she also actually gives individuals who may be stuck in the process and they're feeling frustrated. You go to her website, then you can make a book some time with her, and she can kind of guide you through if you kind of got caught up in it, because sometimes you get caught up in it. Sometimes you think you can do it, and then you get in the mix of it, and people are handing you this and handing you that, and you never thought about this and never thought about that, and now you're overwhelmed. So you might be already in it and looking for a place, and then you need somebody still in the midst of it to help you. So that's what Sherry can do for you. Good evening, Keisha. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're talking about my last show, Artemis here, is making senior living made simple. And we're talking about the guest that we had, Sherry Ross. And she has a book and a workbook and a book to help people and families find living places, not necessarily nursing homes, but living places, independent places, places for your loved one. And even if you're finding places for your loved one, you still have to understand what you're looking for and look for certain things. So she gave certain points and certain things for you to look for. I know that some people, they may have looked at the show, and one of the questions was, okay, wait, Raven is saying, yes, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. And where can you find a book? You can find a book on Amazon. And you can go to her website, www.seniorlivingmadesimple.com. And you can find it. You can find her work or her book there. So yeah, you can go to her website, and then you can see all the other things that she may have also. But I know somebody was asking, one of the questions they had asked, they saw the show and they were asking, and they missed what the simple meant, because it's an acronym. It's SIMPLE, and it's an acronym that she uses in her work. So S is for support. You have to make sure you have the support that you need, the support to go out and do this. Make sure you look for certain things, but you make sure you have the support. I is for information. Get the information. Not only information on a place, but information about your loved one. Get their medical stuff. Get all that stuff together. Make sure they have a power of attorney. Make sure they have all these different things. Make sure you understand their insurance. Insurance can help in this. Your insurance may be able to pay for part of something. Medicines, different like that. Make sure you have information. Make sure when you go out for M, it's match the living place that works with your person. Okay. Make sure you can match the living place that works for your person. So make sure it's a good match, whether your person is, outgoing and wants to be entertained and have a lot of people around them, whether they have an outdoor space, that's important. They may have outdoor space, just so your person can go outside. Even if they can't go far, they can go outside. They can, sit around a garden or something like that. Different things that they may like. Maybe they have classes, music classes, art classes. Make sure that they have these different things. Match it up with their personality and what they would want at that time. Make sure it's a place that, matches what you can pay. You got to make sure of that too. Finances always comes in at some point. P is for preparation. Be prepared. Make sure you have all your paperwork, your information, and everything ready. It is a lot to prepare to do that. It is a lot to prepare, to have everything together, to give people the information, to look around for places, just make sure it can be grueling. It can be grueling. So prepare ahead of time so it won't be too overwhelming for you. L is to let go. She said let go is twofold. It's for the caregiver to be able to let go and let them live in a facility, because that's hard. If they're at their home where you can go to at any time you want, you can bring them anything you want, there's no restrictions, there's no anything. If you can do that, then it's more comfortable for you to be able to say, wow, they're going to be in a facility and I can't visit them at this time that I used to. I can't bring them anything, or I can't, you know what I mean? It's like you have to let go that, okay, we're going to make this decision. They're going to go there and I'm not going to be able to see them as frequently or whenever I want to. You're going to have to go, let go of the way you are actually living now with them, and be able to see them, and be able to deal with that, be able to deal with someone else and caring for them. And also letting go is the person who's moving in there. It's hard to let go your stuff. It's hard to let go your favorite china, your favorite thing, you know what I'm saying? Um, you can't take everything with you. You can't take everything with you, and that's hard. And that may make it more difficult for the person that is trying to help them to move into a place, because every time you try to take away something, they might want to take it with them. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to let go. And it's an understanding and a mindset that they cannot have all the things that they had in the comfort of their home. And that takes a lot of adjustment. So that may be a conversation that you might be able to have kind of early when you're thinking about moving into a place, or that maybe that's going to be the direction that you're going. Let's start talking about stuff. Start downsizing. Getting them used to not having as much stuff, getting them used to having more simple layout and stuff like that. Because, when you go someplace else, it's your room. It's not your whole house. So you can't have that. So, and that's traumatic too. That can be traumatic too. So you don't want to do that so abruptly. So it's something for you to think about if you're gonna do that, how you're gonna get them to let go their possessions, their things that they love, their things that they want. You might have people who are collectors, and they collect books, or they collect figurines or whatever. They may not be able to take all of that there. You know what I mean? So make sure you think about that, letting go. That's L. And E is engage. Make sure they're engaged, and engage with them, and make sure they're engaged there. You're you have to go there also. Even if they live there, you have to go there and visit them. Make sure that you still engage with them. You still engage with them, and they are engaging with the people there. They're socializing with the people there. That keeps them active, keeps them healthy, keeps them, their mind going, stuff like that. Something to look forward to. They're looking forward to seeing you. They're looking forward to your visit that you do every Wednesday and Thursday, or whatever day it is. Oh, engage with them. So it's for you to stay engaged with them. So, it's her thing is keeping everything as simple as possible, but keeping it simple means you have to know a lot of information. Okay. So it's not really that simple. It's not really that simple. Would you try to keep it simple, because it's a lot of information that you may have to have for that. So make sure that you're able to do that. Get help if you need. Get help from somebody if you need. Sometimes she was talking about how people have missed of certain places. They have stories and always talking about the negative, but she was talking about the positive, that people go to these places and sometimes they get more active. They get back to themselves, or they're happy because they have their friends, or the place may have a salon on premises. The place may have music, which is what they like. The place may have different things that people come in with, pet therapy and cooking stuff, and it may be an environment for them. This way they're not alone in their house. Some people are alone in their house and alone in their community, and when they go to these places, so it's not always so sad. They go to these places and they may perk up because people are paying them attention, because they have friends there, and they're able to go around and to get around, not wait for a ride to get to the salon, not wait for a ride to go visit their friends. Their people are right there. So it is some positive to it too, that it may spark them, and the more engaged they are, the more happier their life is. You want them to fulfill their life. You want them to continue to live their life. So that's one of the things that she was saying, that it's it can be a plus, and you don't have to worry about them if you're their loved one. You don't have to worry about them, because you know that they're in this facility that's safe and that can have everything that they need. So it's very interesting that she got into this and got attracted to being around older people. Again, somebody who got attracted to being around older people who grew up around them, and was around them and just thought it was natural, and then here she is in this field. And this is not the field that she started in, but here she is in this field. So it's very interesting how things can encourage people their lifestyle or what they're exposed to. She was exposed to a parent that had her grandparent that had Alzheimer's, and she was exposed to watching her parents take care of them. And it just these things kind of stick with you, and she's able to use all of this in what she does today. So it's really good to understand that. So we're talking about or my last show, Autumn is Here, and it is about Sherry Ross and senior living. She's a senior living specialist, and she has a business called Senior Living Made Simple. So, but it's interesting how people don't realize how much help they need until they're in it. So finding a place can be very daunting. So it's good that we have places like this that's going to help you. Also, some people have to find specific facilities, and one of them is memory care. Many people have dementia, and it gets to a point sometimes where they have to go into a facility. And in memory care, the facility may be a little bit different. Now, you may have a place that has regular care and memory care where they have a floor set aside for it. But you may have a place that just has memory care and just takes care of people with memory care. Look for that if that's what you need. But you also have to look for, like, they have specific things. You don't want them just to be sitting around. You want to make sure that it's a safe place. It's where it's usually a place where that's locked, that they might have ankle bracelets or something like that may ring if they go by the elevator or something like that. It's to keep them safe, because when you have dementia, sometimes you wander. They have it where they kind of gather all of them. Some places gather all of them in one room, and they can walk around, they can do what they want, but they have a large area where people can see them wherever they go. So if you're looking for a memory care place, just make sure that it's someplace that is safe for your loved one, and it has different things. It's not just going to be a regular facility. It's going to have different things for them. It might be color coded for the walls, for the halls, so you know which hall they're going down. You're going down hall for this, hall for that. They think about that. They think about different things for them. So if you are going for a memory care place, make sure that it's someplace that is safe and has enough people in there, enough facility workers and stuff like that can take care of that, because those people are trained. If you have a place that's memory care, you don't want to put your person that has dementia in a regular facility. You want them to have a place with memory care, because the people who are taking care of the people on that floor that has memory care, they are trained specifically for that. They're trained to know what to look for. They're trained how to speak to them. They're trained how to be patient with them. They're trained in a special way, because you never know what you get when people have memory issues. They might be quiet one day, and then they might be not able to handle. They might be nervous. They might be edgy. They might be difficult one day. So people are trained for that. So make sure if you have somebody who has a memory care issue, you take them to a memory care place. One of the things she was saying that they have all these different things. Hi, hello, Sharon. Hi, good to see you this evening. Thanks for joining us. Again, we're talking about my last show. Autumn is Here with Sherry Ross, and we're talking about senior living specialist. She's a senior living specialist, and we're talking about living places that options for you. One of the other things she talked about is how important technology is, how it has changed, how technology has changed, and how important it is for seniors. And we might not think about that, but it is. And they have so many different things where you can buy for your loved one, and you can know where they're at. You can have like a GPS device on them, and sometimes they make them look nice, and they make them in pendants and stuff like that, and bracelets and things that look nice, so you can find your loved one in case they wander. You can have like Alexis. Some people use that to kind of help them with turning things on and turning things off. So technology has grown so much that we're able to do things. They have cameras where you can watch them. You can be at your house and you can watch them somewhere else. Make sure that nothing happens. You have alerts in case they fall or something like that. So you have so much you can do with technology now. So make sure you look into that. Also, some insurance may pay for technology. So please make sure you understand their insurance so you can look and see what's available to them. A lot of times, we're just, we want to get things done, but sometimes you really got to look into what they have, because if you look into what they have, then you'll be able to um, save some money on some other stuff that you might need to buy. You know what I mean? So make sure that you know what they have and what covers them. And it's good to be able to like make a list of the things that they may need, and things that they may want if they are going to go to another living facility. Okay, location is very, very important. Is it too far for anybody to visit, or are you going to be the person that's going to visit them? And when you go to the facility, make sure you check their food. That's very important. If somebody's going to live there for a long time, they want to be able to eat decent food. And if it's not good to you, it's not going to be good to them. So make sure, and you can eat with them. You can actually go there and try their food and eat, go on dinner, and make sure that you're able to, taste some of their food and stuff like that. And one of the other things she said is make sure you check the smells in the place. Make sure that you don't see all these different, you don't smell all these different smells, and what smells bad. You know what I mean? So make sure of that. It's very important. Use your senses. We have them for a reason. So, hi, Kaya Aubrey. Hello, hello, hello to you, beautiful person. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, some of the other things she was talking about was to make sure you're comfortable. You feel comfortable. It's the right place. Use your common sense. Okay. Use your intuition. Make sure that, it's a lot. I don't want to say that it's not a lot, because I don't say it sounds like a lot, but it's not. No, it is a lot. Make sure that they don't have a high turnover, because if they do, there's a reason for that. And you don't want it to be where they don't have enough people to take care of your loved one. So you have to make sure that the facility, doesn't have a high turnover. Find out from the people who are living there. Talk to them. They may tell you, oh, this place is not good. I'm just stuck here or whatever. You never know. They may say this is the best thing, my children ever done for me. I'm so glad that I'm here. You never know. So that's one of the things. Just to make sure you talk. You make sure you just talk to the people who are there, and they can find out for you. They can not find out for you, but they can let you know, like, if it's good or not. The real deal. So that's my show on autumn is here. Please check it out. If you haven't looked at it, you can still look at it. Please comment. Please make sure that you share it with someone who may need it. We appreciate you coming on tonight. But if there's anybody who has seen it, if you have any questions about it, please put it in the chat so I can answer you or address it. If you haven't, it's okay. You can go look at it. But it's very good that Sherry Ross, her company is really something that is very much needed, that people don't know that's there. You don't know until after. There are so many things that are there for support, and her company is a support for you. Senior living specialist she is, and she also, you can just get the book and the workbook and work it through with your family. Don't always think that you have to be by yourself and do it by yourself. You can sit down, with your brothers and sisters or whoever, and say, we might have to move mommy or daddy to a living facility. This is the time to look through the book. Answer the questions. See if you have the answers. See if you understand everything. It's a good guide for you. If this is what you might be thinking about, or it may be just a possibility. Maybe it won't happen, but it's good to see all the things that you have to look for, so, and you want to put them in the best facility for them. So, you love them, but they have to continue their life and continue it in a positive way. You want them to continue it and be happy as they can be. So, and you want a nice place to visit. You know what I mean? You want a nice place to visit. So make sure that you are very careful with selecting the right facility for your loved one, and know that there are options. It's not just a nursing home. It could be a assisted living place. It could be a senior facility, a senior building that's just for seniors that may just be safer for them. It could be different things. So make sure and know that you have options. You always have options. So thank you for tuning in tonight on My Two Cents. I'm just giving you my 2 cents on my Autumn is Here program, because I don't want you to miss certain points, and I want you to take certain points home, and I want you to be able to engage with us and understand that we're putting this information out there to support you and friends and families around you. So please don't be shy about sharing it. Even if you don't need it, it's okay, but share it with other people. Somebody out there needs it. So please make sure you share it, and make sure you look for Autumn is Here on Sundays at 3 o'clock, or you can listen to it on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe, please. All right. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. I'm so glad that you were here this evening. Good night.